Okay, temperature. Temperature is important. You agree to it, right? Temperature is an ecologically most important factor. One of the most important biotic factor, that is non-living factor. Okay. What happens is temperature decreases progressively from the equator towards the pole. Okay. In the equator region, whereas there is a high temperature. Okay, in the equator region, whereas there is a high temperature, in when you move towards the poles, okay, when you move towards the poles, that is the north and the south pole of the Earth, the temperature relatively decreases. Okay, relatively decreases because the sun rays or the sunlight are very sparsely will be going towards the poles of the earth, whereas in the equator it is the temperature is high. Okay, whereas in the equator the temperature is high. And also, as you move from the ground level to the mountain top, okay, when you move from the ground level to the mountain top, also the temperature progressively decreases. Okay, the temperature progressively decreases. Organisms survive only in suitable range of temperature based on tolerance to temperature. Okay, organisms survive only on that particular temperature only, whereas the body is adapted to survive in those specific temperatures. Okay, now coming to the first one, that is eurythermal. Can you see here? Eurythermal is nothing but organism that tolerate wide range of temperature. This is a definition. Please do note down and take definitions are important. Okay, eurythermal means what? Organism that can tolerate wide range of temperature. What do you understand by this definition? What do you mean by it can tolerate a high range of temperature, a wide range of temperature? Eurythermal organism that can tolerate wide range of temperature. Give me examples of eurythermal organisms otherwise. Just any one of, or if you understand from this definition. Fish, okay, and fish. What about human beings, mammals? What do you think, whether they are eurythermal? Yes, Aaron, very good. Whether we are eurythermal? Yes, we are eurythermal. Fish, mammals, reptiles and amphibians. Some of the amphibians are eurythermal, which can tolerate a wide range of temperature. Wide range of temperature in a sense, any kind of temperature they can survive. Okay, any kind of temperature they can survive in any range. Whereas stenothermal is organism that can tolerate only the narrow range of temperature. Okay, stenothermal organisms are those organisms which can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. Narrow range means either they can only survive in a high temperature zone or either in the very low temperature zone. Okay, whether they can survive in the only in the high temperature zone or in the low temperature zone. Okay, give me one example of low temperature zone organism. Okay, very good, Elvina. Penguin. Again, penguins and any other example? Polar bear, very good, Aaron. Yes, these are the example of those organisms which can only survive into very low temperature. Okay, now coming on to the high temperature organisms. High temperature organisms are those organisms which can tolerate high temperatures. Okay, and they are adapted to those temperatures. Okay, adapted to those temperatures. Those are some of them thermophilic organisms, microorganisms as well, which can survive very high temperature. So remember this temperature, the organisms are of two types, eurythermal and stenothermal. If it is asked what is the definition of eurythermal, organism that can tolerate wide range of temperature, whereas stenothermal is organism that can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. Yes, one. Very good. Okay, so as you have understood this temperature, it is ecologically most of the important factor. Okay, next going to the different one, that is water. How important is water? How important this abiotic factor is? Do you agree that it is important? Yes, you agree, right? That is important, most important than any other. Yes, very good. Which was the first organism which was the first organism that originated on the earth and where? Which was the first organism that originated on earth and where? Anyone knows? Quickly. Man. Man was the first organism. Aaron. Algae. Anyone know about this? Yes, very good, Swarup. Sangeeta, that is amoeba. Amoeba was the first organism that originated on Earth and it first originated on water. Okay, it was first or it is a single cellular organism and it was first originated on in water. Okay, so this was about amoeba. Anyone knows about mangroves? Anyone knows about mangroves? Yes. So where do you find it? Mangroves, forest. Okay, Aaron, very good. Forest where? Near where? Near and don't tell me places. Tell me where do you find these mangroves? Where it will be? Rivers. Very good, Aaron. Rivers, right? Rivers and don't you find it near the sea areas? Mangroves are found in the sea areas as well, where they are highly adapted to the salinity of the water. Okay, where they are highly adapted to the salinity of the water. You can go through once what are mangroves. It's a very interesting topic. You can go how they survive into the highly saline means salt areas. Okay, highly saline means salt areas. Okay, so water first, life on earth originated in water based on the tolerance of salinity. Okay, salinity is what? Salinity is, what is salinity? Just tell me in your own words. Okay, the salt content in the water is nothing but is called as salinity, the salt content in the water. So, according to, based on the tolerance to salinity, okay, based on the tolerance to salinity, that is to the salt content, based on the tolerance to salinity, that is the salt content, urehaline and stenohaline organisms are there. Okay, there are two types of organism which can tolerate the salt content, that is in any adapted habitat of theirs. Either it can be water, land. Okay. So based on the tolerance of salinity, urehaline and stenohaline, two types of organisms are there. Okay, there are two types of organism. Urea-haline organism, listen to the definition very carefully. Definitions are important. Urea-haline organism that can tolerate wide range of salinity. Okay, organism that can tolerate wide range of salinity, and stenohaline organism that can only tolerate narrow range of salinity. Okay. Organism that can tolerate wide range of salinity is nothing but urehaline, and stenohaline are nothing but organism that can tolerate narrow range of salinity. Now tell me whether fishes which are found in the seas, okay, seas and some of the rivers or lakes or anything like that, whether they are urehaline or stenohaline. Okay, tell me about the fishes which are found in the sea areas only or in the rivers, whether they are urehaline or stenohaline. Urehaline, yes, very good. Only Aaron is answering. Others, everyone should be answering over here. So urehaline are the organism that can tolerate wide range of salinity. Okay. Think about, you have got one aquarium in your house. Okay, you have got one aquarium in your house, and you have now you want to buy one new fishes into that. Now Mostly when you go on to buy it, you get those fishes only which are freshwater fishes. Okay, freshwater fishes. So you give them the water which is like the fresh water, which we the drinking waters only, whereas you do not provide them with the salt water. Why you do not provide them with the salt water? We have got one aquarium, and now because it will not survive. Very good, Elvina. Everyone should be answering it because it will not survive. Freshwater animals cannot live in sea water and vice versa because of osmotic problems, because they are stenohaline. Very good. Because they either they can tolerate narrow range of salinity, or either they can tolerate the salinity, or they cannot tolerate the salinity. Okay, so remember this: freshwater fishes cannot live in sea water, and the saltwater fishes cannot live in the fresh water because of osmotic problems. What is osmosis? What is osmosis? Tell me in your own words, what is osmosis? The movement of the oxygen dissolved in the water. I'll be asking now someone from the participants to answer it. Nyanendra will answer. High temperature to the low temperature. Okay. What is osmosis? Anyone else? Swarup Sangita, Vani, tell me what is osmosis? Movement of the water molecules from higher temperature to the lower temperature in a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, a process by which molecules of a solvent tend to pass through a semi-permeable membrane from a less concentrated solution into a more concentrated solution. Okay, from a less concentrated solution to a more, or from a more concentrated solution to the less. Okay, more to less. Yes, more to less. Very good, Elvina. Others who all are answering Simran. Yes, from a more higher concentration to the lower concentration. Read about osmosis and those definitions as well. Okay. Next, coming to light. How important is the light? How important the light is for the plants? What they do using light? What is the major process that takes place in using the light in plant? Yes, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process which takes place in the plants using the light, photo, light. Okay, synthesis, which is a process. Okay, flowering is dependent on the sunlight. Preparation of the food or the manufacturing of the food in the plants is based on sunlight. Okay, is to produce food for the food by photosynthesis. Then for foraging is what? Remember the definitions here. I have put down here. Foraging, methods by which an organism acquires and utilizes source of energy and nutrients. Okay, so the light also helps in foraging. Means what? Foraging is nothing but method by which organism acquires and uses the energy and nutrients. Okay, what they do? They organism acquire and utilizes the sources for the energy and nutrients. Okay, it is only possible in the presence of light. Yes, if you do this experiment of keeping only succulents can grow, succulents plants can grow in the less sunlight also, but if you keep any plant in a dark area which is not which cannot survive without the light, will die within 2-3 days. It's because light is very important. Plants are dependent on the light. Okay, plants are dependent on the light for the preparation or the manufacturing of the food. Reproduction and migratory activities of the animals. What is migratory? Migratory is nothing but moving from one place to the another. Okay, migration is nothing but moving from one place to another. These activities of the animals, okay, is also based on the light. Okay, and the seasonal variation in the light depends on the seasonal variation in the light intensity. Yes. UV component harmful to the organisms. This we have already discussed in the last time when we were discussing about the ozone layer and the depletion. Whereas UV component harmful to organism. Why it is harmful? Why UV component is harmful to the organisms? Why UV component is harmful for the organism? What it does? It causes skin diseases. Yes. Dikshita, tell me. Ankita, skin cancer, yes. Burning, blisters, or skin cancers. These all can be caused if you come in direct contact with the UV radiations. Okay, if you come in direct contact with the UV radiation, whereas light is important, but also there must be enough. Only those lights are, only those sun rays are important, which are important for the growth of the plant, for the animals. Okay, whereas UV rays coming directly onto the earth surface can cause these problems to the human beings as well as for the organism. Yes, very good. It causes skin diseases. Okay, now coming to the soil. So tell me, how important is a good soil for the growth of the plants? How important is a good soil for the growth of the plants? Do you agree that the soil quality has to be good for the growth of the plants? Yes. Why, Elvina? If yes, then why? Yeah, tell me, Noor, Ankita, Dikshita. Tell me why it is important. Helps to get minerals and salts for the plants, provide nutrients. Yes, it provides nutrients, minerals and salt to the plants. Okay, as helps as a manure, and also helps in the water holding capacity. Okay, also helps in the water holding capacity, or in the to hold the water, or helps in the proper absorption of the water. Okay, helps in the proper absorption of the water. So nature of the soil depends on climate, weathering process, sedimentary or transported, and soil development. Okay, how first the climate of the climatic conditions of the earth, nature of the soil depends on the climatic conditions, weathering process. What is weathering? What is weathering process? Tell me in your own words, what is weathering process? Breaking of the stones, yes. Breaking of the rocks or the stones, very good, Elvina. Breaking of the stones, breaking down of the rocks into the small stones. Okay, breaking down of the rocks and the small stones or soil is nothing but called as weathering process. Yes, very good. That is nothing but called as weathering process. The nature of the soil depends on the weathering process as well. Then coming to sedimentary or transported. Sedimentary, you must have come across the rocks. Okay, sedimentary rocks. Those are the small grain-sized rocks which are when the weathering process is done. Those small grain-sized particles are formed from the sedimentary rocks. So transported in a sense by the air, by the water, or any such reason, it has been from the transported from one place to another. That also depends, the nature of the soil depends also on the same. And next is soil development. Soil development is nothing but how the soil is developed, like the upper layer of the soil, which is very important, which contains of the humus. Okay, what is humus? What is humus? You must have come across this thing, humus content of the soil. Water content, moisture. Okay. Anyone else? What is the humus content of the soil? Humidity. Okay, very good everyone for answering. Water content, moisture, humidity. Okay, same thing with three different words. Okay, anyone else? Why do you like feel that humus content in the soil is important? Aaron, Swaroop, Ankita, tell me whether you feel that humus content of the soil is important. Yes. Okay. So humus content of the soil is important for the growth of the, yes, very good Dikshita, organic material of the soil, organic manure or the organic matters which are present in the soil helps in the growth of the plant. Okay, helps in the growth of the plant. Having the moisture, humidity and the water content in it is nothing but called as humus. Okay, that is what is important. Soil development is important. From the upper layer of the soil, next to humus content of the soil, then the other different layers of the soils are present. Okay, sedimentary soil and different other soils are present. We'll not go into the details of it. So very good everyone. So characteristics of the soil composition. Soil composition is important. Grain size is nothing but the size of the particles of the soil. Okay, grain size is nothing but the size of the particles of the soil. Okay, grain size is nothing but the size of the particles of the soil. Okay, how smaller or bigger the size of the soil is, or the particle of the soil is. Next is aggregation. If it asks what is aggregation, then to determination of the water holding capacity of the soil. Okay, remember this. If it is asked what is aggregation, then the answer is to determine the water holding capacity of the soil. Remember the definitions. Please note down and take all the points. Aggregation is nothing but to determine the water holding capacity of the soil. Next, coming to responses to abiotic factors. Okay, tell me in your own words, what do you understand by the word homeostasis? What do you mean by understand by the word homeostasis? Tell me in your own words. Responses to abiotic factors. To abiotic factors are nothing but the temperature, soil, water, light. These four are the abiotic factors. Maintaining constant temperature. Okay, very good, Ankita. Body at a normal conditions. Okay, yes, very good, Madhya. Constant. Okay, tell me about if in case. Okay, this is the exam. This is just an example. Think there is winters are going on now as it is going on, and there are the fishes which are present in the sea water. Okay, now what has happened is it is the water has become the water has dropped down its water has dropped down its temperature. Weather and yes, with respect to changing external environment. Now what has happened is the fishes will has to adjust or get acclimated to this temperature now. Okay. For us, it is, however, it's okay because we shiver, okay, we shiver and we wear some of the warm clothes. Whereas now for those animals or those organisms which are present in that water, is it possible for them to come out of the water and come to those places where there is no, it's not possible for them to come into the warmer places. Yes or right. So here homeostasis is important. Okay, for us also this is important, but whereas we can adjust to the temperatures because we are euthermal organisms. Okay, we are eurythermal organisms, and however we shiver, okay, during the winters, we sweat during the summers, okay, whereas the fishes also can survive, but they need proper response to that abiotic factor, and that proper response to the abiotic factor, that is the temperature, is homeostasis. Okay, if it is asked what is homeostasis, the ability of an organism to maintain the constancy of its internal environment despite the varying external environmental conditions. Okay, despite varying external environmental conditions. So now, as a, for example, now recent things which I will give you the example. Now you know the winters are going on, but still it rained yesterday. Okay, but still it rained yesterday, and during the noons and all, it will be quite a humid temperature. Okay, it will be the temperature will be hot. These three varying temperatures are going on. Okay, the three different varying temperatures are going on. Is it possible for the organism to adjust to all these temperatures? Is it possible for the organism to adjust to all this temperature? Okay, now what example I'm giving is three different seasonal variations are going on. Everyone should be answering. Nyanindra, Harish, Swarup, Sangita, everyone. So three different variations are going on in the temperature. Okay, so and Dikshita as well. So now tell me whether it is possible for the organism to survive into these conditions, different varying conditions. Okay, think that homeostasis doesn't exist. Is it possible? No, right? Yes, it is not possible. Whereas homeostasis is something which tells or which explains us that how the organism can maintain its constancy of the internal environment despite the varying external environmental conditions. Okay, so radiation, evaporation, convection, and conduction. Will not go more in details about it. So let us quickly move on to the next one. This is already been explained to you. Okay, remember the definitions, please. Write down the definitions and take definitions are important. I'll be, if the questions are asked like what is homeostasis, then the answer should be the ability of an organism to maintain the constancy of its internal environment despite varying external environmental conditions. Okay, now if it also asks, give an example to the response to abiotic factors, then the answer will be give one response to the abiotic factor. Give an example to the response to abiotic factor. Temperature of the body. Tell me what it is. Temperature of the body is what? Response to homeostasis. Yes, very good, Elvina. That is nothing but that is homeostasis. Now next coming on to the how does homeostasis occur? Okay, how does it occur? It regulate, it confirm, it migrate, and it suspend. Okay, it regulate, it confirm, it migrate, and it suspend. So now moving on to the next, quickly we'll go on to something. Okay, now coming to the suspend. I'm just going it, don't think that I'm skipping anything, I'll go back. Now tell me about the suspend, I'll go here. Okay, seats, dormancy. Anyone has played hopscotch? Where we put those blocks and we play with that any stone or one seed. Anyone? We put the blocks and with one kind of we either use the stone to play it. Five blocks will be put down on the ground. Anyone has played hopscotch? Okay, like this. Anyone? Everyone has played. Yes, for that you use one seed, remember. If anyone has not seen, so why I'm saying you this is, please if anyone has it, any of your cousins or sisters or brothers have that, please see that the seed which is used to play. Okay, that is an example of this dormancy. Yes, everyone has seen the seeds. You get it in the this markets and all. So that is an example of dormancy. Okay, that seed is very hard seed. Okay, if anyone has not seen it, please go through. Please do see it and please do see it. Okay, for that reason, I just came here so that you will remember in the next class. I'll show you the picture as well in the next class. So this is about that dormancy. I will explain you how does the dormancy occurs and why dormancy is important. But just I wanted to know for you to know that what it is so that you will get one idea regarding it. Okay. So how does homeostasis occur? It regulate, it confirm, it migrate, and it suspend. Okay, so next going to the this regulate, confirm, then next is migrate and suspend. These four things are there regarding whatever is put down on the this screen. You should note down and take. Okay, so please note down all the important definitions have been put down here. So now coming to the these four things, we'll know more about it in detail. Please go through those videos which has been already been done for you regarding these topics. Okay.